Hello Blue Streaks and welcome to this latest episode of StreakNation. I'm Rachel Vadaj.
And I'm Danny Markino. Let's get started. The 2015-2016 season has wrapped up for the women's basketball team here at John Carroll. The team finished with a record of 13-13 and earned a berth in the OAC Conference Tournament. It was an all-around solid learning year for the squad that will not lose any seniors and has the strong possibility to return with the same full lineup. Caitlin Spahar and Sarah Kearney were each named to the all-conference team, as Spahar led the Blue Streaks in points per game and Kearney led the team in rebounds per game. Each were named OAC Player of the Week on at least one occasion, and Spahar was named National Player of the Week about midway through the year. It was a fun time covering the team this year, and we will see them again right around the corner next season in the tail end of 2016.
This past weekend, the John Carroll men's basketball team finished their season with a 90-83 loss to Alma College in the round of 32 in the 2016 Division III NCAA tournament. The team played well throughout the first half, but just couldn't get the open shots or defend the hot shooting from Alma in the second. Leading the way in scoring for the Blue Streaks was sophomore standout Tony Voyanchik with 21 points, while shooting 62% from the field as well. Behind him was star point guard David Linane, who finished with 13, and Simon Kacharowicz, who had 11. Before spring break, however, the team took down Capital, Mount Union, and Marietta to win their 11th OAC title under the direction of Coach Mike Moran. In the championship game, tournament MVP David Linane and Ryan Farragher both had 18 points, while Voyanchik had 16 of his own. The team finished their season with a record of 26-4 and are already looking forward to next year. The Blue Streaks just had their first off-season workout this past Monday and have high hopes for the 2016-2017 campaign, returning 15 of their roster and 3 starters. Kacharowicz was named second-team All-Conference. Doug Caputo received conference honorable mention honors, and also MVP went to David Linane for the Blue Streaks. Coach Moran and the entire Blue Streak basketball program, we want to thank you and congratulate you on one of the most productive and successful seasons in school history.
2 JCU wrestlers will also be in action this weekend as they travel to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to compete in the 2016 Division III National Championships. Cornell College is playing host, and seniors Dan Merman and Will Porter will represent the blue and gold in the final tournament of the year. Merman is a 2-time All-American, and this will be his 4th year in a row going to the national tournament. This is Porter's first ever appearance at nationals.
The women's swimming and diving team have surfaced to a phenomenal year, as head coach Mark Finnell was named 2016 Coach of the Year, and the team had a runner-up finish in the conference tournament. The men had a great year as well, finishing 3rd overall at the OAC conference meet. Both teams have promising futures ahead with their young and experienced rosters.
Thanks, Rachel. It was a pretty successful season for all the winter sports teams here at John Carroll. And like Tommy was saying earlier, we do congratulate you and thank you for entertaining us this winter season. But as that winter season ends, another one begins. So we're going to send it back over to Caitlin to start on some spring previews.
The warm weather in Ohio has finally arrived, and oh yes, that means baseball season has finally begun. The men were recently in the Sunshine State for the Russ Met Central Florida Invitational, but sadly that warm journey came to an end this past Saturday at Chain of Lakes Park in Winter Haven, Florida. However, the Blue Streaks had their chins up high before this final game due to a sweep in their doubleheader against Rhode Island College, 5-1 and 3-2 with a record of 5-2. Unfortunately, the men returned home with a record of 5-3 due to their loss against St. John Fisher Cardinals. That game had a score of 9-1. This game versus the Cardinals did not go too well for JCU in the field. Pitcher Drew Vargo allowed 6 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings. Mark Pisanello and Joel Schaefer each appeared in the relief for Vargo, but still no tables were turned on that scoreboard. We're thinking these men just weren't used to the sunny weather, and we're looking for a better outcome as they head now to Pittsburgh to take on Allegheny College this week.
In just the 3rd year of the varsity competition, the Blue Streaks men's lacrosse team is trying to surpass last year's very successful season. The team came into this season with a program record of 21-11. Difference is, there's a new sheriff in town. First-year head coach Chris Cooper now has the reins. So far, Blue Streaks are picking up where they left off. currently holding a 2-2 record and being led in goals by the highly potent offensive weapon Declan O'Grady. O'Grady currently has just as many goals as the next 3 people that follow him on the list, combined. Each of JCU's 4 opponents have been from 4 different states: Ohio, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Georgia. And that trend will continue as teams from Pennsylvania and Michigan are still on the schedule. The team will take a week off before hosting the St. Vincent College Bearcats here in University Heights this upcoming Wednesday afternoon.
Year 2, you have the floor. The John Carroll University women's lacrosse season is now underway. The sophomore season seems promising after a 10-5 freshman year and 2nd seed in the OAC tournament. This season teed off with a 15-12 win over Houghton College in Houghton, New York, as sophomore Grace Curatolo tallied 6 goals in the game, which was good for her OAC Player of the Week honors. The team will take their current early season record into their home match this Saturday against Elmhurst College. The game is slated for 1 o'clock in the afternoon and will be held on the turf at Don Shula Stadium.
The softball season is just now getting underway. The Blue Streaks are coming off a 22-17 year and an appearance in the OAC tournament, which was their 8th consecutive. Led by a slew of experienced upperclassmen, the team packed up and headed south for the winter. Well, spring. Their spring training trip took them to Clermont, Florida, where they opened up the season in a grand fashion by knocking up the number 11 team in the country, the Alma College Scots. The team commenced with a blustery 14-7 win over the University of Northwestern. Now, the team has 20 full days to prepare for their next game and the grind of the rest of the season. The next scheduled game is due up for March 24th, when John Carroll travels to Hiram to take on the Terriers. The team's home opener is set for Thursday, March 31st, when the Battling Bishops of Ohio Wesleyan come to University Heights for an afternoon doubleheader.
Yeah, Rachel, and the tennis team was also in competition over spring break, competing in Tampa, Florida. It should be an exciting spring season, and we will definitely be following them closely as they jump right into the thick of their schedule in the coming weeks. And that should do it for today, Rachel, and be sure to follow JCTV4 on all forms of social media.
Absolutely. And of course, for myself, Rachel Vadaj, Danny Markino, and our 2 sideline reporters, Tom Richmond and Caitlin Salvino, this has been StreakNation.